Before Hidden Hills, I owned like 4 or 5 different brands, but one of my good friends, he had control of my money and he was doing like trading with it and whatnot. And one day I woke up and the whole account was washed, zero. The account had like millions in it. It was all gone. I lost everything overnight. All my companies were done. Like I had nothing.
What's one piece of advice you could probably give?
Get yourself a whiteboard and just start. I think some people wait forever to start, for the right time, for the right knowledge, for the right whatever it may be.
Right.
They overthink things. They're too scared to fail. They're worried about losing it all.
Well, yo, what's going on, guys? We're with a very special guest today. It's actually going to be a pretty dope video for you guys with our boy D from Hidden Hills. He's got a pretty crazy story, pretty crazy come-up story. You know, they're a nationwide brand. Some of the biggest you probably, many of you watching this probably know about Hidden Hills. So we're going to do a little sit down with him. I'm going to get some real game for a lot of you guys that are watching this, maybe brand owners, maybe just individuals, businessmen in general, that could take some inspiration and something from D. So D, you know, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about the brand, come up, you know what I mean? How Hidden Hills became what it is now.
Prior to Hidden Hills, you know, I had a background, was a firefighter for 3 years. I got hurt in the line of duty, so I was on paid leave. While I was at home, I just wanted to find something to do. I think a lot of like the work ethics, the morals that I learned through the fire department and just, you know, service and that field, I think correlates a lot to business wise. So before Hidden Hills, I owned like 4 or 5 different brands, but one of my good friends, he had control of my money and he was doing like trading with it and whatnot. And one day I woke up and the whole account was washed, zero. So the account had millions in it. It was all gone. I lost everything overnight. All my companies were done. Like I had nothing.
Right.
You know, so I guess instead of just sitting there and crying about it, you know, the first thing I thought was like, okay, like I got to start over, but you know, at least I got the knowledge and experience. Like, what can I do now? You know, a lot of people think Hidden Hills is like an overnight success, but there was a lot of trials and tribulations way before it that really attributed to the rise of Hidden Hills. When I started Hidden Hills, I had absolutely nothing. Luckily, I had like some cars, some jewelry. I sold everything in my house down to my furniture, and I started Hidden Hills. I approached one of my friends. His name is D as well. I was like, hey, bro, I lost everything. I had literally don't even have money for rent. I got nothing. Like, I have a lot of experience in like brand building. I have a lot of connections. Like, can you help me out? Like, he's like, I'll help you out however you want, you know, da da da. So I was like, man, I want to start like a lifestyle brand, you know, that kind of touches with like cannabis and lifestyle and clothing, all the stuff that I had interest in. I just wanted to make my like own personality and my viewpoints into a brand. We started off at my house. I ordered a bunch of stuff from China. I literally maxed out every credit card, spent every single dollar I had, and we started out from my crib. Like when I tell you, like I had nothing in my house. I sold my dinner table. I sold my couches. Like that was my warehouse, was my house.
Yeah.
Shout out to Annie too. She was like one of the first people that believed in me. She was working at another company making like $250,000 a year. And she quit that job to work for free for 3 months just to help me out.
Wow.
Just because.
Shout out Annie, huh?
Yeah. Shout out to Annie, man.
Shout
you
out
know,
Annie,
she's
yeah,
still with
sure.
me too. She's a writer. You know, and I told her, I was like, hey, nothing is guaranteed in life. I don't know if Hidden Hills is going to be successful. There's no promises. And she told me, she's like, hey, I seen you rise and fall many times. I see how you treat your people. I seen the companies you built. She goes, I trust you 100%. And I was like, damn, for sure now I can't fail. I was stressing. I was like, hey, Annie, by the way, too, like, since you believe in me, can you pay the rent too? No, real shit.
No, it becomes different when people depend on you.
Yeah.
The mentality changes.
Whole different mentality, especially when people are overextending for you. Like, dude, there's no room for error. Like in my head, I was like, I cannot fail, you know?
Right.
So we started Hidden Hills, first brand ever. When I signed the contract, I told D, I was like, hey D, since you were like one of the only people that helped me out, if this takes off, I'm gonna break you off. And then when the contract came around for the LLC, I was like, hey bro, on the contract, it's I'm gonna give you 30%. You don't gotta do nothing. Like, I'm just gonna give it to you because like you were there for me when no one else was. And he's like, he laughed. He's like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, I don't give a shit about that. He's like, you can give me 10% for all I care. Or you can just give me whatever you feel like. He's like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I didn't help you for the money. I helped just help you. And I hung up the phone. I was like, damn, bro, like there's not many people in life you meet that just help you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And I really believe in the fact you got to take care of the ones that were there to ride for you when there was nothing.
Right.
So I called my lawyer and I was like, hey, change the contract to 50-50.
Yeah.
And then like, they're like, oh, you should do 51-49. I was like, no, fuck all that. Like, I don't need any of that. It's straight 50-50. And then they're like, okay. I called back D. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? I resent you the contract. It's 50-50. I was like, but I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, sign that shit. Like, we're going to run this. We'll run this up. You got to worry about nothing. Like, we're going to do this together. And like, don't think about it. He goes, fuck it. Let's go. And we hung up the phone. He signed it. And after that, we started running it up. So when we started out in my garage and my living room, D was like, bro, we got to get a new warehouse. He's like, I don't think your house is like going to be big enough because we ordered. Bro, I was having a heart attack, right? My budget, I was able to liquidate everything, like my cars, like both my cars, all my jewelry, and like a small property. I had like $500K.
Right.
D spent like 700K.
Holy shit.
You know, he like overspent the budget. So I'm sweating bullets.
Right.
And I was like, bro, I don't know if we can sell this much, blah, 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 blah. He's like, don't worry, let's get a new warehouse.
Yeah.
Right.
So we got a new warehouse. It was a 3,000 square foot warehouse. I was there every night doing construction, building out the whole warehouse, right? I didn't even have enough money for the chairs. The chairs in my office was like literally boxes. Like I used boxes as my chair.
Damn, dude.
Real shit, bro. Shout out to Boy. Boy was there, man. Boy was laughing at me when he came to the office. He's like, what the hell is this? So in the first 3 months of that warehouse, we met a guy named Mo at a trade show. So at this trade show, I couldn't afford a booth, nothing. You know what I did? I hired 2 of my homegirls, $200 a day to wear a Hidden Hills backpack and some Hidden Hills clothes.
Yeah.
And pass out flyers and samples. I'll never forget. There was a guy, D was like, hey, go to him. He's a big timer. You know, he could pick up the brand. I go up to him. He laughed at me. He literally like brushed me out. Like he literally went like this. That shit was like embarrassing, you know, like almost like you're begging. You know, I was like, man, I got to keep going. Like I can't let fear or failure like get in the way. Like you just got to keep pushing. So we kept going and I met a guy named Mo, and shout out Mo too, you know, forever my brother. He was the first one to pick up the brand. I think his first PO was like at like 100 and some thousand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, first time ever. He's like, bro, I see something special in this brand. Like, I think you really got something here. Like, it's going to disrupt the industry. Like, so he believes in us. And I told him, I was like, hey, bro, I'm going to give you exclusive. So, like, whoever's in, like, Dallas or, like, Texas, like, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
And you know, where I come from, how I was raised, like, your word is everything. But unfortunately, in this line of business, there's a lot of people that talk a lot, but don't stand behind their words. And I'm sure you guys know,
Very
like,
true.
Absolutely. Big
you know,
time.
after
Too many
meeting,
people.
Too many.
after meeting you guys, you know, I really fuck with you guys because that's what you guys stand on too. I think that's like the one thing I recognize with you, Justin and Zane. We're at the club and I met another guy. He gave me some bottles and he introduced. He's like, hey, bro, I don't know who you are, but I fuck with you. I want to shoot you more customers. I know how it is starting fresh in the industry. It's tough. So he shot me a guy. Guess how much this guy wanted to buy? 700,000.
Oh, just enough as
Bro, on his
That's
PO.
crazy.
And I sent him like a sample kit. He's like, bro, this is fire. Like da 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 da.
Right.
He's like, all right, bro, I want to put in PO. Here's my info.
Right.
I saw the address. It was in Dallas.
Damn.
So I was like, sorry, bro. Like, there's somebody else that ordered.
Yeah.
I gotta keep my word. I told him, like, you know, but you can order through him. He's like, man, fuck that. Like, how much did he order? Like, da da da. Like, well, what was his first order? I was like, it doesn't matter. It was 100,000, but like, you know, I gave him my word already.
Right.
Bro, it happened to be his friend. Right. He really was mad though.
Oh,
Don't get me
sure.
wrong. He was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like, fuck you.
Right.
But it was really his friend too.
Right.
So he called his homie. He was like, hey man, whoever you're working with, Hidden Hills, like they're solid. Like they do right business.
Right.
You know, because I blew your shit out of the water, but he still told me no.
Right.
And I think in this industry too, like it's very tight knit.
Yeah.
You know, very tight knit, and that story got around to everybody. And you know, that just goes to show like the prime example of like in business, like sometimes you can't chase the money. You gotta do what's like right in business, and
Right.
that will take you further than cutting corners.
Every time.
You know,
Every time.
like I that was like the one moment in my life where I'm like, damn, like I always try to do the right thing, but that was the first time in my life where like I did the right thing and it benefited the company like this, like
Big
overnight.
time. Big time.
Yeah. So after that went through, Hidden Hills going viral. You know, the team was growing. Within 3 months of being at a 3,000 square foot warehouse, right? From my house to a 3,000 square foot warehouse, I moved to a 15,000 square foot warehouse.
Right.
So I 5x my warehouse in just 3 months. And this is the warehouse we're at right
Yeah,
now.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wish you guys could see every angle of this
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's
We'll
nuts.
show a walkthrough. I think we did a walkthrough.
Yeah, you'll probably see one of the other videos for sure.
Yeah. So yeah. And then after that, bro, we just all the team just slowly just, you know, coming in all through referrals, like all through just mutuals.
Right.
You know, I think I built something with Hidden Hills, not only just internally, but hopefully externally as well with the brand, like a very family vibe, all inclusive. Like it doesn't matter where you come from.
Right.
I wanted to create something, a piece of luxury that everyone can enjoy. It doesn't matter if you're from this or that or this color, that color, it doesn't matter. Like I wanted to create something that no one has done before, which is a brand that has, you know, stature, has a name or respect to it, but like also that can be inclusive of everybody.
Right.
100%. You know, I want to touch on one thing you mentioned
Yeah.
is doing the right thing. You know,
Yeah.
I think the best people I met, especially in business, you and me and Justin, you know, the same way we have the same partner relationship, the same way you do with D, right?
Yeah.
Me and Justin have everything 50-50 work. I think you need to have that trust in that
Yeah.
person you're working with.
For sure.
Otherwise, you can't really jump. You can't go to the next step without that
Right.
trust.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to ask you, when you mentioned you liquidated all of your stuff at that time, obviously this is kind of like your last shot. Like
Yeah.
you had to make things work.
Yeah.
Other people are in the same position, right? Where
Yeah.
they had to jump and it's like they have to go all in.
Yeah.
How did you manage, and what are your best tips to those who are making that jump currently?
Man, I mean, I don't know if there's like a tip, but I definitely feel like the reason why I'm so willing to make that jump is because like where I came from before.
Right.
Like I've been homeless twice. Like I've been from the bottom.
Yeah.
So when I had it all and I lost it all just overnight, I mean, it hurt, but it wasn't something I was unfamiliar with.
Right.
You know, and like I think it's really important not to be afraid to lose everything. Don't have this ego where it's like, man, I always gotta have this image or I always gotta be at this level for people to respect me. Like, nah, don't be scared. Like, you gotta be willing to lose it all. Obviously, move smart, but like that's what's gonna set people apart. You know, who's willing to take that risk? Who's willing to go all in? Like, who's willing to be like 2 feet in, fully dedicated, and believe in themselves.
Right.
And for me, like, I'd rather bet on me no matter what. So making that jump, as long as like you believe in yourself and you're not afraid to fail, like I say, take it. Because what's the worst that's gonna happen? I've been there, like to the point where it couldn't get any worse. Sleeping in my car, like my brother and sister getting me hotels and motels just so I could shower. You know, like I've been at the fucking bottom. You know, and it doesn't scare me. So it doesn't scare me to go all in. It's just money. You can make it back.
I was actually going to touch on that as well. Then it brings a good point. Your way of thinking in business, as a business owner yourself, you manage a team. You obviously manage a whole lot of inventory, a whole lot of even a reputation for the brand. Yeah, it's beautiful. How's it changed over the years? You know what I mean? Like the way you thought when you first started Hidden Hills is definitely completely different from now.
For sure.
You know, how did that even just kind of progress over time? Right, like over the years. You know, how's your mindset change? How's the way of thinking as a business owner changed?
Yeah, I think you gotta be a little bit crazy for sure.
100%.
To run a business, you gotta be obsessed with it. You gotta eat, breathe, and sleep.
Yeah.
I think it's complete bullshit when people tell you gotta have balance. There's gonna come in times in life where there's no balance.
No balance at all.
know?
I fully agree.
But like I said, what's gonna set you apart against 100 million other people that are trying to make it too? Right? Who's willing to take it that far? I think in the beginning of Hidden Hills, I was definitely in a survival mode.
Yeah.
Really taking risks, really doing whatever it takes just to succeed.
Yeah.
But you have to evolve and grow as a person, not even just as a business owner, but as a person.
Yeah.
Just like you said earlier, when you start taking care of people, when you know like families depend on you, when you know that like other business owners and like you create a whole ecosystem of everyone just taking care of each other, you got to elevate and think different. Okay. Before it was like, man, fuck it. Take this risk, do this. Okay. Once you built a name, okay. Once you kind of like settle down and built a foundation for yourself, which is the most important, now you got to be more strategical.
Yeah.
Right. I think one of the things I learned too as a business owner is, especially when you start, you got to take every opportunity, right? You got to jump, you got to try, you know, every shot you don't take, you know, it's a miss. But once you get to a certain level, slow down, be more strategic, be more methodical, be more thorough. Because once Hidden Hills started buzzing, names started going up, everyone's coming at you. Hey, bro, let's do a collab. Hey, bro, let's do this project, that project. Like there's a couple projects we did with Hidden Hills that nobody knows about, and you know, a lot of people won't tell you. They won't expose like their flaws or their mistakes, but I'll give you game. Like we did a huge project, right? Trying to do tobacco, trying to get out of our lane, do this and that, because someone pitched it to me. Crippled us. We lost hell of money. Right. Then boom, another person came. Oh, bro, like, let's do this vape. Let's do that. Okay, fuck it. Like, you know, we're popping, we're all feeling good. Confidence is high, money's flowing. Another failed project. You know, it only takes a couple failure projects to fucking start you back to zero.
Yeah, completely.
You know? And like,
how do you manage to find those right opportunities? How do you gauge, aside from the feeling, that a company or someone is worth collabing with or partnering with?
And this could actually be some really good advice for people that may be considering a partner, considering an opportunity.
Let's not get it wrong.
For sure.
100%. For me, my rule of thumb now, and it was my rule before, and you know, my vision got a little cloudy for a little bit. I had to get humbled by life. For my rule of thumb now is if you're not directly involved, if you're not in direct control, like there's no point in doing it. Because no one's going to run it like you're going to run it yourself, right? All those projects that were a fail, I wasn't directly involved. I wasn't in direct control. I kind of just collaborated and just kind of let them take the wheel. As like, if you're a business owner and you care about, like you said, reputation and all that stuff, you got to be direct in control. If I don't have the bandwidth, if I don't have the time, you might as well don't take the project. Prime example is like Johnny Dang. We did a collab with him. Phenomenal. One of the best. That has been hands down like one of the best like projects we've ever done. But that's because I took full control of it, and Johnny also like jumped in and we're like very involved.
Both
I don't think that would have taken off if we were just half-assing. You know.
Yeah, I've seen that. You know, we work with so many different people. Again, aside from just obviously our company alone, I think you need to have that full involvement, whatever you do. Nobody sees your vision like the way we do. You know what I mean? And that's what's gotten us to where we are right now.
I think a lot of people have this false perception of like this online money thing. Like, hey, I'm gonna be fully automated, sitting on a beat all day and like kick my feet up, and I don't gotta worry about shit. And I got this whole team to do it for me. It's like it's not how it is in reality. At least have volume, right? Like if you want to do a cool 5-10K a month of this kind of small little business that you got going on, you'll be able to somewhat automate it. At real growth, at a real national, international level as well. We're talking millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way.
Man, all the people I've seen are all obsessive.
Yeah, completely.
All obsessed.
Those guys work harder than ever. And some of these guys, could be up, even 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. And they're still the hardest workers in the room.
Yeah.
And so that bullshit about, hey, I'm going to have this business fully automated and I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
And I shouldn't be involved. That's bullshit.
yeah.
It's bullshit. Nobody's going to do it like you and nobody's going to work like you. And at the end of the day, what is that business? What's your value in that business if you can just fuck off, right? So
Yeah.
like your mind still needs to be involved to continue to success. That has at least achieved at whatever point it is at. So I don't know. I think it's a false reality. Yeah. People try to sell this lifestyle of, oh, you only got to be on your laptop for an hour.
No.
And it's not.
That's never gonna happen. I got a good question for you, and this is something I usually ask a lot of my favorite people. If you were to fail something in life earlier than later, what would that be?
If I were to fail something earlier than life, so would it be?
Yeah.
I think the most important thing for me that made the most impact in quote unquote failures would be like relationships. Because I would say like, just because you're a good, honest person, right? You would expect the same from the other person.
Right.
And I think that was one of like my biggest, I guess, like weaknesses, right? Is because like, I know myself who I am as a person, Subconsciously, you expect the other person to be the same.
Yeah.
So very early on, a lot of people had different agendas, different motives, a lot of relationships went sour. But it took me a while to learn that, that like, not everyone is solid like you are, Luckily, it did happen, I would say somewhat early, but that taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't trust everybody. Some of the closest people to you are the ones that can get you.
Yeah. Yep.
So life isn't about fucking everything's all sweet. Hell no. Like, there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that are right next to you are the ones that are gonna fucking get you.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much about like what's happened in my past. I don't want to air out nothing, but my best advice is like, and you're gonna go through it, whether it's fucking 10 years from now, 1 year from now, next week, like you're gonna see a lot of people change. Money doesn't change people. It makes you more who you are.
It amplifies you.
Yeah.
Right.
So, just be careful who you're around. The motherfuckers that are with you, they want to win for themselves. They don't want to see you win. They want to take advantage of you, this and this and that. So just be careful. And once you find the circle, once you find the people that are really with you, like invest into them, grow into them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are the people you want to keep around. You don't need 100 people. You just need 5
solid people. So also another question is, why do you keep the mask and why do you kind of keep yourself anonymous?
Man, I mean, same exact reason why
Same exact reason, huh?
I think a lot of people hate, a lot of people are envious. I'd rather keep it about the brand. I don't want the brand to be about me.
Yeah.
That's why I choose to stay anonymous.
Makes sense. And now, when you initially started, right, you had obviously different marketing strategies of when you initially started compared to obviously today. How's that changed? I guess with the online side and everything that you've been doing, how has your marketing mentality shifted from then? So when we first started Hidden Hills, we're completely wholesale. I didn't really know about, D2C to marketing. It was more like B2B type of thing. Right.
And we did a lot of like outreach and influencer PR. So like a lot of celebrities that I had connections to prior to Hidden Hills already.
Yeah.
It was that's pretty easy for me to get to everyone's hands. We don't pay anybody to promote it. Everyone has been organic. Like I really appreciate everyone that like shows love to Hidden Hills. Like it means a lot to me. And we just really focused on like B2B business. But, with the times changing, you have to adapt. You have to be able to like grow, find other avenues, build ecosystems of different types of revenue. That's why like I really appreciate you guys as well.
Of course, man.
Because you guys kind of like open my eyes and we realize like, there's way more out there than just B2B.
Yeah.
E-com is huge. Like that's the future. Brick and mortars are going down. People are wanting to shop in the comfort of their home.
Yeah.
Like, logistics and shipping is easier and easier. I think now with a lot of the economy and a lot of shit that's shifting, I'm really trying to focus on like D2C sales.
Yeah, and so much stuff is changing right now. So much stuff. It's insane. We've seen like a huge shift, even just the way AI has been rapidly, like so many people are going to be out of business in the next 10, 20 years. Taking jobs, taking a role like A to Z. It's nuts. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask, and to follow up on that question as well, we've been working together for some time now as well, obviously, following into that kind of that poll that you were making, and maybe we might win a house. Now, how has that experience been? Fully transparent, fully cam, is no script. Keep it completely real. Like, even we would love to hear it. How's your experience been, or what's your feedback so far? you know what I mean? Just the overall, you know what I mean, event on that.
I think like I don't want to call you guys like an agency. You know what I mean?
I hate calling myself that too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely more like a partnership.
Yeah.
To be transparent, I thought that was bullshit in the beginning. Yeah, but I'll tell you why, right? I've worked with so many different agencies. You know, maybe like some of them I'm so cool with, but like most of them, all the other agencies, it just was never up to par.
Right.
And it kind of goes back to like what I was saying earlier, where it's like, bro, don't do it unless you're fully involved yourself.
Yeah.
You get the raise of someone else who's not. If your company is your baby, which it should be, if your company is not your baby, then you're in the wrong field.
Yeah.
Would you trust your baby with a random person to raise it, to teach it, to grow it? No.
Definitely not.
Why the fuck would you trust somebody else that's not in your company, that's not you, that doesn't own your brand to run it, right? To grow it, to fucking expand it, to like represent it, right? But when I met you guys, you know, I felt very comfortable. You know, you guys talked a big game, but you guys backed it up, which is what I liked. It's definitely something I wouldn't even consider an agency. Like I said, it's more like a partnership. I think that I appreciate the most. The way you guys care, you guys treat it like it's your own company. The way you guys are able to like actually put forethought and actually like and add value to the company. That's very important to me. Yeah. You guys are pretty much part of the team.
Of course. Yeah.
Agencies are like outside coming in.
Yeah.
You guys are like internal with them.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is education. You know, a lot of brand owners don't know what they're looking for, what they actually need in an agency. Yeah. So what we do is we try to focus a lot on education to you. So you understand, you're learning as you go as well, right? So you're understanding what metrics are we looking at, right? Our entire goal is to essentially translate these KPIs that we send to your landing page and for you to be able to make decisions off those KPIs, right? Yeah. End of the day, if I give you a bunch of KPIs, right, and that you're not really able to read, right? You're not gonna be able to do anything with it. But if I translate these KPIs and I show you why they're important, you can make the right deciding factors in your business to level up the brand more. Yeah. End of the day, data is everything, right? So that's also our job as marketers to make sure, and that's again what most people get wrong. It's they're expecting this agency to come in and just all of a sudden blow up their stuff. But end of the day, remember, it's a partnership.
So I got a good question for you. Obviously, you've got a lot of skin in the game now. And you can kind of look at this as an overall, you connect with so many brands, you know, so many business owners, so many brand owners. You know, what do you think, like in a generalized way, do most brands get wrong? You know what I mean? Like, is there a specific trend you notice? Like, what's one thing you notice a lot of brands get wrong that you could even vocalize now for people to be like, oh shit, I'm doing that?
Man, I think the number one mistake I see the most is when the brand sells out. I think that's like a betrayal to the followers, to your fans, and like, you know, the people that believed in your company or your brand.
Right.
It's like selling out. Selling out can be a lot of things. You know, I kept it pretty broad, but selling out could be like lowering the quality of products so you can make a better margin.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like a bait and switch.
Right,
I think that's a betrayal to your people. Selling out and like the cannabis game is like pumping out cheap products just so you get higher margins. For example, like say you come out with like a 5-gram blunt, but that 5-gram blunt is big as fuck, super quote unquote value, but it's all trash in there. You know, I think that's a disservice to your brand and to the ones that believed in you. I see a lot of companies do that. You know, before you think about the money first, you know, think about the long-term gain is more important.
Yeah, I think longevity comes from that honesty.
It does, and you think about it too. To your point about your community, you know, your followers and everybody, it's you're gonna be nothing in a few years without that, right? Like
Yeah, for sure.
if you're just relying on cold acquisition of just first-time buyers to like keep you afloat, there's no way.
Yeah.
Goes for actually a lot of businesses, like even service-based businesses, right? They're not gonna just continue. Even for example, a local business in the area, like you're gonna just rely on new faces every time, or you're gonna be able to retain people, have them come back to you because you're giving the service they deserve and they pay for it.
Yeah.
So to your point, yeah, I think we've actually noticed that a lot too over the years of working with so many brands. I noticed that, you know, there's some brand owners where they're like, man, we just need to make more profit, this and that. I'm like, yo, you guys just built something huge here, huge name, people love you guys, and now you want to completely switch it up internally, or say completely diminish the quality of the product. Now it's like you're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next 6 months, and that's to each their own. We try to at least, you know, tell people to stay away from that. Community is everything, man.
Yeah, of course. So how do you uphold the quality? Like, how do you gauge what is quality to your audience?
For one, for the clothing side, you know, I make sure all the materials, all the fabric, I hand pick myself. I hand green light. Nothing gets approved or produced without me giving it the green light. So that's the number one way.
Right.
2, on the cannabis side, and I'm proud to say there is not one product that we pumped out that I didn't test myself at least 20, 30 times.
You
know, like-
if people want to test
Yeah, bro. Like it's tough because sometimes I'm high for like 2 days straight.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sit there and I personally test every single one. I don't cut no corners.
Right.
You know, but just because like I care that much, I
Yeah.
don't want to ever get complacent or be like, you know what, let me just give it to the staff or let me just give it to this guy and ask him if it's good. Like I refuse to do that. You know, like I take a lot of pride in it.
Obviously, there's going to be a time when we pass away, right?
Yeah.
At that point in time, how do you plan to keep your the quality the same at that point?
When I pass away,
Yeah.
well, shoot, by then, you know, I hope that I was able to pass down the torch to someone, to the next generation.
Yeah.
You know, nothing lasts forever. It's not how much you take in this world, but how much you give.
Mhm.
You know, so I hope I give out as much knowledge and pass the torch down to someone that's, you know, that's worthy of it. Which I do. I'm not worried about that. A lot of people pass knowledge to me.
Yeah.
You know, so like I feel like I gotta pass the torch and give it to the next guy. You know.
Now, I was going to ask you too, you know what I mean? Because you've seen tremendous growth in the brand. What do you, and this is actually something a lot of people can take because you've seen it all, seen the lows, the highs. What's a piece of, I guess, a piece of game you can give to a brand owner, right? That maybe
Mhm.
watching this looks up to Hidden Hills, looks up to you and the team. You know, what's a free piece of game that you can give to somebody? Maybe even something that you guys did that you really saw a huge shift in the business, right? Whether that's sales, building the community, marketing side, anything. We're like, well, what's one piece of advice you could probably give?
Man, one piece of advice.
Be
Fuck,
anything.
that's a tough
I
one.
know so much you could probably say.
Man, you know what? One piece of advice I would say: get yourself a whiteboard and just start. You know, I think some people wait forever to start for the right time, for the right
Yeah.
knowledge, like for the right whatever it may be.
Right,
Like
right.
fuck it, just start. You know, I started with like nothing, like literally nothing. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up. They overthink things. They're too scared to fail. They're worried about losing it all. Like if you're really serious about this game, like you really want to be your own boss, you really want to, you know, create a wave or start your own company or brand, like just start.
Just jump
Just
right in the
jump.
way.
You know, for me, I still have this whiteboard. It's like this fucking big. It's still
Mhm.
my office. I'm gonna keep it forever. It was my first whiteboard ever.
Yeah.
I was broke as fuck. I didn't know what to do. My whole life was just firefighting. That's all I knew. And I knew I had to sit there and be like, what next? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Target. I bought a whiteboard. I bought a fucking whiteboard markers, and I went into my dinner table and I just set it there and I just stared at it and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna write everything I want. And I
Yeah.
just started writing down a bunch of stuff and started brainstorming. I wrote 13 goals, and within like 2 years, I accomplished 12 out of those 13 goals that I thought
Wow.
were impossible.
Wow.
You just kind of like dreamed it up, and then it's like,
Yeah.
if it happens, it happens.
somehow,
So it just somehow, you know, I did this too, you know, like it just magically aligns. I don't know what it is. Like you stay obsessed with something, it just everything just comes. It's like the world gravitates towards you and what you kind of stand for.
Yeah.
So you know, Hidden Hills is known for a lot of its great quality content, especially content that converts on the Ads Manager. What is your secret sauce in that content? What do you do?
just be authentic. You know, I
Mhm.
think every brand that has been successful that I've met the owners, like the brand is like an extension of them. They're
Yeah.
just being, they're not trying to be no one else. They're not trying, and like there's a lot of great brands out there, you know, that I look up to as well. Every single owner I met was like, I look at the brand, I look at them, like makes sense. You know,
For sure.
and subconsciously, without even knowing, like I feel like Hidden Hills is just an extension of my personality or
Yeah.
who I am, and I translate into the ads content.
Yeah.
Translate into that, and the people are gonna feel it. So just be authentic, you know.
Yeah.
A huge thing I've noticed as well with some of our most successful brands. Like I said, we work with just so many over the years. I noticed our most successful brands, the ones that are really making a statement in the game right now, that's been running the longest, that will continue to run the longest. It's the brand owner, dude.
Mhm.
You sit with them, and you sit just like how we sat together.
Yeah.
We're in LA right now. You know, we spend a lot of time together and just sitting, understanding you, and not just yourself, but you know, many other great brand owners we work with. It's about the person, and that the reason the brand is successful. Yes, it's a great product. Yes, it's great marketing. Yes, it's all this. It's brand owner at the end of the day.
Mhm.
You know, like
Of
if
course.
we're not involved in Hidden Hills, I don't believe it would have been what it was now. And that goes off of the point of it being an extension of you authentically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think the greatest brands have some of the greatest CEOs, some of the greatest leaders in it.
So let's talk about some qualities, right? Obsession is one of them for a great quality of a brand owner. What do you see in great brand owners aside from obsession that you think are important qualities to have a successful brand?
You know, it's funny, right? When you're a kid, you're in school, they always label like ADD as a bad thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
10, actually 100 out of fucking 100 brand owners I know have like ADD to the max.
Yeah.
But like if you know how to channel it, or you find your interest, like your ADD becomes a superpower. If that sounds so stupid.
I think I've been thinking this, right? You know, I always heard about these people. You know, it might be a trigger alert, but I always looked at ADHD as like a great thing. You know, like I never understood what it's like. You know, you're victimizing yourself if you had ADHD.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the people who have ADHD, the best people I've worked with as well, is that ADHD, man. It's insane. My legs always shaking too. I'm always going crazy. You know, I'm thinking of ideas here, but that's what kept us on top. You know, and you know, me and Justin have such a good relationship. You know, I can't praise it enough. Yeah. We have this like complementing relationship with each other. I'm assuming that's the same with your partner.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's funny too, because I was telling you guys before, like you two remind me a lot of me and D.
Yeah.
Sure. Like yin and yang, just like how you guys are yin and yang. Like,
it's on my contact.
That's
Yeah,
the best type of partnerships.
100%.
Yeah. Supposed to you know, complement each other's opposites.
Yeah.
Weaknesses and strengths, right?
Yeah.
So where I'm weak and he's strong, and vice versa. And I think that's the beauty of having a great partner. If you're going to have a partner, some people do it solo. It's great. But if you choose to go down that route, you know, obviously be very careful. Some of the lessons you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
Morally and ethically in every sense. You know, we've gone more than you can do.
So many times.
And you, I'm sure we have already had our talks behind the camera.
Yeah.
Of just how much that's happened. So I think that's really important, man.
Yeah.
You know, as we kind of wrap this up, you know, big question for you. You know, where do you see the brand going? Right? Hidden Hills is essentially a lifestyle brand in every aspect, right? Where is it going now? You know, what's the long-term vision, even with the rest of the year, man? You know, because we've been, it's such a pleasure to obviously be a part of it. So
of course,
obviously you're killing it, and it's been great. And I see the vision. You know what I mean? So for the people out there as well, you know, what is the vision?
Man, the vision, which I already see happening, and I just want to keep building off it, is to grow the club. It's already worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're in UK, we're in the UAE, South Africa, Colombia, Mexico, Canada, Guam, Thailand, Vietnam. So, you know, we do business all around the whole world. Yeah. We're trying to make an impact. You know, we're trying to make a difference in this world. You know, with the team that's standing behind it, I feel like anything is possible.
Right. How'd you come up with the name Hidden Hills? What's the meaning behind that?
No, that was a funny story, man. Bro, before I had Hidden Hills as a name, that was a laugh. I had some dumbass names, bro. Yeah. Stupid.
Give us. What were some of them?
It was like Booza was like a dumbass one. Gas station was one. Fire something. Yeah. Those are like some of the stupid ones. But you know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Growing up, I was always, even now, like I'm always that guy that gives someone a nickname. Yeah. And it always sticks. Like I just so many people give names. So I'm like good at naming things. One of my partner's friends had a brand, and it was Hidden Hills, and we saw it. And I was like, bro, that is the perfect name. I would just do some tweaks to it. Yeah. Because all the brands I've had prior, I love the double letter. Yeah. Like, you know,
like, the double words.
I've had other brands in the past with like MM or DD or TT, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I saw Hidden Hills, like I just love the double letter look.
Like HH. Oh,
yeah. So that's just something I really like.
Okay, man. That's nice. Adrian, I appreciate you for everything, man. You know, you've taught us a lot, and I'm sure, you know, a lot of people back home can kind of relate and learn from what you have to offer. Is there any closing statements or things you want to kind of just leave us off on like an end note?
Man, I just want to leave off by saying partnering with people is like a marriage. It's not something you take lightly. You can't just partner with anybody when you start a business. But I will say I'm very glad that I partnered with IXM. They definitely came in and leveled up the whole company.
Appreciate you, bro.
Everybody on my whole team is very happy with you guys.
Thank you, man.
You guys are part of our family, part of the club. And if you guys are looking for very intelligent, very smart people with the experience to back it, IXM is the perfect partnership you're looking for.
There's a lot to us, man. And obviously, again, it's also about the owner. Don't forget. He's a great owner. He's obsessive. And again, nothing would be here without him at the end of the day, right? You know,
shout out D, you know, shout out the other D as well.
Yeah.
Great. Shout out the whole team. I think some of the guys are just heading out now, but thank you for those words, man. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it, man.
Far, I think we're gonna continue to keep killing.
Keep pushing, man. Let's see. Let's grow this, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.